Hashtag Don't Break the Chain is a text channel on my Discord server about not breaking the chain. The unspoken rules of this text channel was that you had to copy and paste the previous message to continue the chain, and that you weren't allowed to send 2 messages in a row. But of course, it was inevitable that the chain was broken many times. This made it so lots of different chains formed over time, resulting in a very interesting history. I'm Polygon Donut, and welcome to the history of Hashtag Don't Break the Chain. While the original Don't Break the chain was going on, this happened. Just don't break the chain. You broke the chain. Idiot, 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 idiot. The idiot chain went on for a while, but then this happened. A visual representation of the chain being broken. After that, a new chain started of a bunch of people just saying, no. Later on, many more chains attempted to rise, but none of them really got continued for a while. On August 18th of 2020, a beautiful image of a dog getting head pats was sent. This spawned a massive chain that lasted for an entire day until finally being broken by someone mistakenly sending a message twice in a row. I believe the reason why this chain lasted so long was because it's human nature to want to pet cute doggos. On August 21st, a chain started that was tagging someone on the server. We decided to make a rule against this, so I pinned the message that was suggesting said rule. But then my pin ended up starting a very short chain. It didn't really last that long, but I just thought it was kind of funny. But then, a few days later, I pinned another message in the channel. Little did I know that this would create yet another chain. This chain lasted 36 messages, probably the longest one we've had so far. But this changed very soon. On August 23rd, I sent a meme that said, "You just got burgered. Burger someone else to be unburgered." Of course, as a human, being burgered is one of the worst things that could possibly happen to you. So this gave birth to a massive chain of people getting burgered and then sending the meme again to get unburgered. A day later, this chain was still going on, and someone used a bot command to deep fry the image. Then people kept using that bot command as a new chain to deep fry the image more and more, until finally, the bot had enough. This was possibly the greatest chain to happen at the time, so it's very sad to see it end this way. At this point, an actual good chain didn't arise for quite a while. There were a few short and sweet ones, like the add a different emoji every time chain, or the Le Fiche chain. It was now September 1st, and a failed attempt at a new burger chain was sent. The chain instantly failed because someone said, "I'm too lazy to copy the images to send them here." This started a chain of people saying the same thing. Then, ironically, a chain of people sending a picture of the text happened. Then there was a Discord server created called "He is too lazy to copy the images to send it here." And in the Discord server, they just kept saying that he is too lazy to copy the images to send them here. Then there was a new chain of just a screenshot of the Discord link. Just why? The Chain Chomper. Who knew that the only way to truly not break the chain was to become one with the chain itself? Something about this beautiful, perfect being was so captivating to the human soul, which is what I believe allowed this chain to last for so long. But then, after an entire day of the Chain Chomper's reign over the hashtag Don't Break the Chain text channel, he was insulted and began to cry tears of sadness. After a while, he cheered up a bit and spoke his first words. Hi, Polygon Donut. This is when the Chain Chomper's evolution began. The first evolution on September 13th was that the image got slightly blurred. Then the image got deep fried. Soon after, the image was slightly shrunk down over a few messages. Radio motion blur was added. A weird grid effect was added. Everyone was so happy that the Chain Chomper was evolving over time, and we really thought we were doing something truly special. But then, it went too far.
Oh
Do you guys realize what we have done? This needs to stop. This poor, innocent chain chomper completely destroyed beyond recognition. Why have we done such a thing? How have we not put an end to this sooner? Whatever shall we do to atone for our sins? I know what we must do. We must save him. We must piece him back together. We can do this. Be ready, my soldiers. Let me hear you scream. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Piece the chain chomper back together. It's happening. Go, 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 we can finally save him.
What? What is
There
that?
it is.
It's coming back.
Oh my god, guys. He is free from the chain. Goodbye, chain chomper. He is free from the chain. Goodbye, chain chomper. He is free from the chain. Goodbye, chain chomper. He is free from the chain. Goodbye, chain chomper. He is free from the chain. He is free from the chain. Goodbye, chain chomper. We pieced him back together into his original form, and then finally let him be free from the chains of society. I believe we did the right thing here. I dedicate this video to the legacy of this chain chomper. May he have a wonderful life ahead of him. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you want more videos like this, and even join the Discord if you want to be part of our many other journeys, including the Counting 2 text channel, which at the time of recording this video is almost at 25,000. Well then, I've been Polygon Donut. Goodbye. A quick recap before we begin. The hashtag Don't Break the Chain text channel is a text channel on my Discord server about not breaking the chain. A chain refers to a string of messages saying the same thing over and over. The greatest chain to ever happen at the time was the Chain Chomper, and we foolish humans ended up killing the Chain Chomper over time. But before the Chain Chomper was officially dead, we realized what we've done and released him from the chains of society. After the tragedy of what happened to the Chain Chomper, his whereabouts were uncertain. We didn't know where he went, all we knew was that he was not with us anymore. Now, at present day, random chains were coming and going like the wind. The future was uncertain. With the Chain Chomper gone, it was almost the end of the text channel as we knew it. But it never quite settled down. New chains were always being made, some of which were quite notable. This is the story of those chains, and how this text channel ended up risking the lives of humanity as a whole. Join me in the history of hashtag Don't Break the Chain, Dancing Cow arc. One of the first notable chains was a callback to the Chain Chomper's first words, "Hai Pologo Untonate." This version featured a sleeping Mario from Super Mario 64. I believe the reason why this phrase was connected to this GIF is because Super Mario 64 is a very nostalgic game, and the phrase, "Hai Pologo Untonate" is also a very nostalgic phrase. This phrase has these feelings connected to it because it reminds us of the golden age of this text channel, back when the Chain Chomper was still in his original form. The existence of this chain is really sweet as it shows that we still care about the Chain Chomper even when he is long gone. On September 28th, an image saying, "The message below will be my Discord custom status" was sent in the text channel, and this started a chain of people sending the same image. We agreed that when this chain is broken, everybody needs to change their statuses to whatever is said, and then after almost a whole day, the chain was finally broken. MCAT girl. No! Of course, after this, we all changed our statuses to MCAT girl because we aren't cowards. Sorry to interrupt your scrolling, but you might be using mobile data instead of Wi-Fi. Make sure you're connected to your home network. This was sent in the text channel on September 29th, and this immediately became a chain. The next day, a new chain started of this image. Thank you, I'll be careful. It's very inspiring to see such kindness become a chain like this. At this point, chains were forming and breaking at the speed of light. There was a DNA chain, a no chain, a chain of a broken chain, a chain of the chain video. Nothing made any sense anymore. It was just pure madness. A monumental turmoil, a great disorganization, a massive commotion, an enormous pandemonium, and what else? Anarchy, disarray, discord. Wait, yo, Discord! But then, in the midst of the disorder, right as the text channel was at its limit, a new idol rose up. At first, it seemed to just be another harmless and fragile chain that would come and go as hastily as the wind. But oh, were we wrong. We were so wrong. In fact, this is probably the most wrong we have ever been. A grave error, a sizable mistake, a cosmic misjudgment, this chain would then alter the course of human history itself. The fateful day has finally arrived. On October 4th, the dancing cow was born. This cow took the text channel by storm. Immediately, the chaos stopped and everybody focused on the cow. Nobody knows why this cow had such an eye-catching beauty, but it was clear as day that this gift contained much more than what meets the eye. A day passed and the cow was still in power. The next day, unsurprisingly, the cow was still the only thing to be seen in the text channel. A few people began to try to break the chain, but it was futile. The cow just continued to dance upon their insults as if it was completely unaffected. This is what we wanted. A new major chain. This was the beginning of something special. On this day, the cow chain was broken for a few messages by a vibing cat, but then the cow began to reveal its many forms. The first form revealed to us was the Pass the Cow GIF. This was a GIF that featured the cow slowly being passed from the top of the image to the bottom. Many people complained about the slowness of the cow in this GIF. The cow took note and exercised for a bit. After this, the Pass the Cow GIF became faster than it was before. Soon after, the GIF was upgraded once more. The cow has been detected, we must transport the cow in secret. After multiple days of transporting the cow in secret, the chain was broken yet again. But then the cow said, "Y'all dumb." As you can see from this, the cow directly stated that the chain breaker was dumb for even attempting to break the chain, revealing to everyone that the cow was fully aware of its power. On October 13th, this user attempted to start a war on the cow. He took control of a Thanos Fall Guy and began to set it many times to try and break the cow chain. Of course, this never worked as a one-man effort. After he saw his failure to break the chain, he said, "But I can't give up. Even if I'm banned, forever and ever, I shall make the Fall Guys rule the world." Although from the cow's perspective, he is but a mere fly, I find it really admirable to stand up in the face of a godly being and say such courageous words. On October 19th, the cow said, "Hai Pologo Untonate, can I dance for you all?" This message from the cow further proves that he is a fully sentient being and very well knows who I am. Next, more chain breakers began to rise up. This user randomly said, "I have come here to ruin lives and break chains." Of course, this didn't work and he immediately realized this. But then, someone else sent a GIF saying, "How about I do anyway?" referencing that even though they know it is futile, they are still determined to break the chain. This determination shown by the chain breakers is very respectable, even though it really doesn't change anything as the cow gains more and more power by the second. Next, the cow began to show us even more of his forms. This one, for some reason, there's just a play button on him. Soon, this form had text added to it. After that, the cow gained some armor and weapons, and then even more text appeared. On October 20th, yet another form is revealed. This time, the chain cow. This form featured the cow wearing a chain on its neck as a symbol of respect for currently being the longest running chain in history. Later that day, this form acquired a hat. Then, it acquired even more fresh drip. He then somehow got his hands on a Doom Eternal super shotgun. This form became more and more powerful as time went on, and soon he decided to bestow upon us yet another form. In this form, the cow was simply dancing at the club. We could only theorize what realm this club is located in, possibly in another dimension, not even comprehensible by our limiting human forms. Soon, yet another chainbreaker arose, and as usual, they could not even come close to stopping the dancing cow chain. Eventually, the cow evolved into the when you bottom text form, and another chainbreaker arose. Cow chain sucks. It will easily be forgotten, unlike burgering people or chain chomping. Now is the time for a new era, one without cows, deception, and bottom texts. No longer cow, for I am the cow exterminator. As usual, his efforts were fruitless, and the cow chain could not be stopped at its current level, but then, the cow had enough. This was the first time the cow visibly showed the rage stored within. This moment was truly terrifying. At this point, we slowly started to realize what we have created, and frankly, we were scared. Scared of its absolute power. This changed everything. Usually, the people continuing the chains were the ones in power, but now we had no choice. This was the first time in history where it felt like we were the ones being controlled by the chain, rather than the ones controlling it. The cow immediately covered up his anger by showing us the mafia form. Eventually, he also got some nice glasses, but still, we knew something was up. He was planning something, and it was not going to be good. It turns out our theories were correct. What happened next is truly horrifying. After this message was sent to us, the cow mysteriously disappeared as quietly as the wind, nowhere to be seen. The hashtag Don't Break the Chain Check channel was now left alone and confused, with nowhere to go. We assumed that he was just dead, gone forever. The future of the cow just gone. It turns out our month-long effort to bring this cow to greatness was all for nothing, and honestly, that might be a good thing. Although, how is this even possible? Didn't the cow have some unfathomable amount of power? Was this all just a lie? Were we living in an illusion this whole time? Were we lying to ourselves this whole time? Or was the cow lying to us? The cow has awakened! Our greatest fears have finally come true! This whole time, the cow was lying to us! He really was planning something! This really wasn't an illusion! This very well was reality itself. The dancing cow gif began to be spammed in every single text center on the entire server. There was nowhere to run. There was nowhere to hide. Nobody was safe. Everywhere you looked, the cow was there. This was pure uncontrollable chaos. All of the different forms of the cow were working together to create the ultimate being of perfection. How could we be so foolish? How could we allow such a thing to happen? The world is doomed. The universe is doomed. All of the Chainbreakers tried to assemble together, but they were no match for the cow. All of them completely and utterly obliterated in an instant. We had no hope. This was the end of existence itself. Nothing else existed in the universe at this point. The cow got what he wanted. We failed. The cow used us, although we were the ones who let the cow gain this power in the first place. But this isn't what we wanted. We were just trying to have fun in a stupid Discord server, yet it led to the destruction of the universe itself. But then, in the midst of our cries, we saw him, in the distance. There he was. Right when we needed him most, he came to our rescue. Right when he was long forgotten, he became remembered. And then he spoke. While you foolish humans were digging your own graves, I was acquiring my powers. I foresaw that a godly being would rise up on the server, so I knew what I had to do in order to stop it. What is your knowledge, O great Chain Chomper? How do we stop this madness? The Chain Chomper then said, "You must delete the text channel that started it all." He was right. As much as I hate to admit it, he was right. This text channel has brought more chaos and suffering to the world than any other text channel. We had to get rid of it. It was such a simple solution, yet I almost didn't want to do it. All of our memories, gone. All of our friendships we made along the way, gone. All of the chains, gone. The story, gone. The Chain Chomper, gone. Forever living on in our memories. But we must make this sacrifice for the betterment of mankind. But before we do so, we must make one final chain. The chain that started it all. Don't break the chain. Break the chain, don't 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 break the chain. Dancer cow was born. You just got burgered. I'm too lazy to come. Don't break the chain, 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 don't break the chain. Who knew that the only way to truly not break the chain is to become one with the insulted and begin to cry tears of sorrow? Don't break the chain, don't break the chain, don't break the chain, don't break the chain, don't break the chain. Don't break the chain, don't break the chain, don't break the chain, don't. This was the first time the cow visibly showed the rage stored within. Don't break the chain, don't break the chain, don't break the chain, don't break the chain. And now, in the land at the end of time, the noble chains eternally rest in blissful peace and remembrance. After this text channel was deleted, we had nowhere to go. Maybe deleting it wasn't the right decision. There must have been another way. But once again, our short-sightedness as humans led us to our downfall. If only we didn't make such foolish mistakes, the world would be a much better place. With the hashtag Don't Break the Chain text channel gone, of course we attempted to recreate the glory of the original, but it just wasn't the same. Without the Chain Chomper to guide us, it was no use. It was pure anarchy, but alas, we still have hope. Someday we will achieve true greatness. Someday we will make it up to the Chain Chomper. His noble sacrifice to stop the cow will never be forgotten, so we look on, unknowingly, into the future and wonder what it has in store for us. quick recap before we begin. Hashtag Don't Break the Chain is a text channel on my Discord server about not breaking the chain. One day, a powerful chain in the text channel rose up named the Dancing Cow. After being spammed across the entire server, he ended up consuming the whole universe right in front of our eyes. Then, right when we needed him most, the legendary Chain Chomper appeared out of hiding and told me to delete the text channel to stop the chaos. This would then delete both the Dancing Cow origin and, sadly, the Chain Chomper himself. After the Dancing Cow incident on October 25th, a second Don't Break the Chain text channel was created, but it was never the same. The channel was in constant chaos, so real chains were incredibly hard to come by. But then, on January 28th, a tragic event took place: the death of the original Polynomers Discord server. Due to a hacker attack, the server that everything took place on was completely deleted, never to be seen again. The archives of Hashtag Don't Break the Chain and the Christmas tree event were now completely deleted and only live on through the videos covering their history. On the 1st of February, the new server, New Polynomer City, was created. The first wave of invites were sent out to the fan communities before I even made a video on it on my main channel. Hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3 was created to continue carrying on the legacy of the original text channel. The very beginnings of the text channel took place when the server was still under construction, so no members except mods and admins were on the server. We began a very short-lived Don't Break the Chain 3 text chain, but then immediately went on to the first image chain of the server. One of the mods sent an image in the text channel which is referred to as the Darby Eclipse. This is an image of my friend Parody Shark, but positioned in front of a light so he looks like an eclipse. This chain went on for a day before it evolved into the Enlightened form. The next day, February 1st, was the day the first wave of invites were released. The text channel had a level 5 requirement, so it took a while before people actually gained access to the channel. Later this day, the first non-staff member sent a message in the text channel, and that message was from Jude BBE as they continued the Darby Eclipse chain. It's very nice of them that they decided to continue the chain rather than immediately break it. As the day went on, more and more people gained access to Hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3, and the first community chain began. This chain was an image of a Lucario plushie started by user Nebby. The spirit of the chain was finally alive once again as everybody worked together to continue the chain. As more and more people gained access to the text channel, the order of the channel was broken and it already went back to its usual chaos. It was a beautiful day in the Don't Break the Chain history. After recovering from universal destruction and the deletion of the server, the community was finally able to come together and enjoy chaining whenever they wanted. As more and more chains were made, it became apparent that there are actually many different types of chains that have been made throughout history. The very first chain type that was created is the basic text chain. An example of this can be seen with the very first chain created in the very first text channel, where the chain consisted of a simple line of text. Another very early chain is the basic image chain. This is where the chain is just a single image or GIF. The first examples being the dog pat chain or the you just got burgered chain. The eclipse chain that we talked about earlier is also a basic image chain. Sometimes these basic chains can have multiple forms over time and still be considered a basic chain, but when a chain has separate defined forms that actually evolve over time and are drastically different from each other, then it is considered a multi-form chain. The main example of a multi-form chain is the Dancing Cow. Although not all chains fall under only one chain type, the Dancing Cow actually falls under 3 chain types: a basic image chain, a multi-form chain, and a transcending chain. The transcending chain type is the most legendary chain type. This is only given to chains that truly transcend the text channel itself. When the Dancing Cow gained too much power, it was spammed across the entire server, which gives it the transcending chain title. Another transcending chain is the Chain Chomper. The Chain Chomper is who the chain makers look up to as the most noble being to step foot in the text channel. He is often referred to as the chain maker's mascot or god. The Chain Chomper's chain types are basic image chain, transcending chain, and evolution chain. An evolution chain is when the base image is changed over time through effects and edits. Sadly, when this happened to the Chain Chomper, we ended up killing him over time, but we made the right decision and released him from the text channel in the end. During the era of Hashtag Don't Break the Chain 2, which is completely undocumented on my channel, the community gave birth to an event called a chain war. This is when 2 different chains dominate the text channel at the same time and fight to be the dominant chain. A good example of this is Hypologo and Donate vs Cat on Toilet on December 5th of 2020. This chain war was documented on the YouTube channel Linen Light, so his video is linked in the description, but here is a summary of the events. It first started with a chain of my current profile picture at the time with the caption Hypologo and Donate Taco Rice Cheese Bread. This chain didn't catch on, so its creator Boom1749 redrew the image to be a different character. After this, he began inserting his image in many other chains in an attempt to gain relevancy. Then, eventually, he went to war. The current chain at the time was the Cat on Toilet chain. Both of the chains were being spammed an equal amount at the same time in the text channel. The Cat on Toilet chain also ended up being edited to have various weapons. After the long and hard fight, the Cat on Toilet chain offered peace. Hypologo and Donate chain accepted, and an image was created with the 2 chains in the same image. Such a peaceful and beautiful ending to the war. This is classified as a combination chain, which is when 2 or more separate chains combine into one. Fast forward to present day, in hashtag Don't Break That Chain 3, a more recent example of a two-piece combination chain formed. On February 5th, the same day the server officially went public on my channel, an image of low poly donuts was sent in the channel with the caption Polygon Polygon Donut. Later that day, a gif of the Popcat was also sent. These two images completely dominated the tech channel at the same time and fought for relevancy. The two parties believed the battle was futile as other people kept trying to break their chain, so they decided to join forces and create this image. After they saw their victory in taking over the tech channel, they added a trophy to the image as well. Further into the same day, another combination chain was created. After the battle of Important Photo versus Snake Chain, they joined forces and completely dominated the tech channel for the rest of the day. This chain was the main focus of the channel on the same day the server was officially opened up, so it was easily able to take advantage of the new server hype and had an incredible amount of people chaining it with very few breaks. It is also considered a multi-form chain as it later on gained a rainbow form. It eventually evolved into what's known as a collage chain as well, which I will talk about next. After the Dancing Cow incident, the Don't Break the Chain text channels had a lot more popularity and chaos than they used to. During this boom, a new chain type was formed, called collage chains. This is when a chain evolves over time through more and more images being added to the base image. This trend quickly caught on and completely dominated the tech channel. With the Bofa chain and the many generations of the Grass chain, it was clear that these were the new norm. The chain that popularized the collages was the legendary Catable. This was also documented on Linolite's YouTube channel, so link in the description. It started out as a new combination chain using the cat on toilet and a vegetable chain. When the two chains were the main focus of the tech channel, people voiced their confusion on which they should continue. They then decided to just combine the two and created the Catable on December 15th of 2020. This chain quickly overtook the tech channel, and over time people kept adding more and more things to the GIF until it became this. The chain lasted for a very long time and had many comebacks. It never officially came back in hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3, but people did attempt to do so. The collage chains completely ruled Don't Break the Chain because they are the most fun for people to participate in. Sometimes they are very elaborate and are really cool to see. Many people don't like the collage chains though, as they believe it shouldn't even be classified as a real chain because the image is constantly changing. Whether you like them or not, collage chains are here to stay as they are the most appealing to the community, so whenever one is started, it dominates the channel very quickly. On February 1st, a mysterious group of people joined a voice chat on the server. When I noticed the suspicious activity, I took a screenshot of the VC. All of them had the word Jared in their names, and their profile picture was usually this image. Over time, more and more Jareds joined the VC. I made sure to notify the community of this potentially dangerous group as we had no information on what they could be or why they were here. At the same time as this happening, pictures of the so-called Jared character were slowly being sent in hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3. The next day, I got a mysterious DM from an anonymous user. The DM had a picture of some kind of announcement on an unknown Discord server. The server in the screenshot is possibly the Jared's origin, as you can see from the title, but what truly raises worry is what the announcement contains. The announcement reads, "At everyone, we will be invading the Polynomers Discord server today at 7:00 PM EST. As soon as this message was sent, the chaos commenced. The voice chats quickly filled up with Jareds. The Jared count just kept getting higher and higher. Over in hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3, a Jared chain quickly took over the tech channel. Panicked, I decided to join their VC so I could try to stop this madness. Hello, Jared!
Hello.
What is it that you seek? Do you seek power? Do you seek recognition? What is your goal, Jareds? Who is the spokesperson of the Jareds?
Okay, maybe I'm not Jared.
King Jared is our leader.
King Jared.
I am the voice of King
What
Jared.
is it that you speak, King Jared? King Jared has DM'd me Jared. If I change my nickname to Jared for a day, then will I win in this battle?
You win Jared medal.
I have joined you.
Yes.
King Jared, are you pleased?
Polygon, I will DM you a medal.
Hey guys.
Oh my god, this Jared thing.
I
I shall now make my leave. Goodbye, Jareds. May you Jared in peace. The Jareds are coming, the Jareds are coming! Jared invasion! A recent outbreak of Robloxians and banana suits have been appearing all over New Polynomer City. Users have been asked to stay in their home until the problem is sorted out. During this interaction, I gained lots of information about the Jareds. Apparently, their leader is named King Jared, who does not speak themselves, but rather has another Jared member speak for them. Their goals are still very unclear. For now, I thought just giving them what they wanted was the right decision. I felt like I needed to appease them more to stop the chaos, so I decided to create a Jared voice chat for the Jareds to reside in.
Alright
Alright guys,
idiot.
scroll down in the
Look at
voice
all this
district.
stuff.
Yo!
There's
I
a
almost jumped on
Jared
my own.
VC.
Oh god. Oh my god, he's
Dumb
typing
dog.
Jared. He's not even copy pasting, he's just typing it. What is he
Jared
summoning
is-
something in this? Like,
One
I've
line.
gotten a congratulation
Jared.
award from Jared.
From Jared?
I got that.
From Jared?
Congratulating. Okay, everybody just start saying Jared repeatedly. Jared, 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 Jared. In yet another attempt to appease King Jared and end the anarchy, I created a Jared emote on the server. I said, the Jared gods have been pleased. The Jareds must calm down now. King Jared responded with, okay guys, you heard Polly, stop the raid. Okay, let's relax. All Jareds stop, I repeat, all Jareds have seemed to be calming down, but it is still recommended to stay inside until it is completely resolved. And with that, the Jared uprising comes to a close. At first, we thought this was the end of the war, a peaceful outcome where the server members and Jareds would live in harmony, but sadly, this was not the case. This was a war with two sides, and neither side wanted the other to stay. Peace was not an option. At this point, two parties formed on the server. You were either a Jared supporter or a Jared denier. The Jared supporters, led by King Jared, wanted to bring the Jareds to greatness. On the other hand, the Jared deniers wanted to eliminate Jared once and for all. On the server, we have two different general chats because it can be a little chaotic at times. Because of this, there was an ongoing argument on the server about which general chat is superior. This opinion divide was also applied to the Jared parties. The Jared supporters were believers of the original general chat, whereas the Jared deniers believed General 2 to be superior. After the Jared uprising ended, over in hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3, a rebellion against the Jared started. It began with a Kill Jared gift sent by a member of the Jared deniers. It immediately overpowered the Jared supporters and stopped the current Jared collage chain in their tracks. It was clear that the Jared deniers were the majority. They rejoiced in their victory, saying, "We now have complete control over the channel. Yes, Jared is no more." Jared invasion update. The Jared situation is being taken care of in Don't Break the Chain 3. We will let you know when it has been fully taken care of. Satisfied with their current victory, the Jared deniers spread their influence into hashtag counting 3 and began to send the Kill Jared gif with every number counted. The Jared deniers continued flexing their control over hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3 and started sending an image that says General 2 is better than General. More images were created stating their opinion on the General versus General 2 argument. The Jared supporters then sent a video saying repost if support Jared and General, but never mind, it was just a fake out that turns into Site Kill Jared. The Kill Jared images and videos never stopped. The Jared deniers were more clever and overwhelmed the Jared supporters. It was clear who won the war. Throughout the chaos, the Jared supporters slowly completed their collage chain. It says repost to revive King Jared from the Polynumbers Discord at the top, but clearly this never happened. The next day, scientific research came in about the Jareds. Because Jareds are bananas, that means they have a very short lifespan before they start rotting. 3 days have already passed, so the Jareds have already started rotting. The Jareds are supposedly falling, but you must know that Jared will remain forever. Jared invasion update. The Jared situation has been fully taken care of and is no longer a threat. I would like to announce that the Jareds have been completely eradicated. They tipped off the balance of the universe too far and the anti-Jareds officially killed every last one of them. If you are still nicknamed Jared, I suggest you turn back now or you may be targeted by the anti-Jareds. The Jareds were gone. Their goals were far too radical and ambitious. They were slated to lose this fight ever since the beginning. The Jared emote and the Jared VC were removed. Over in hashtag Don't Break That Chain 3, a chain of a rotten banana started, showing a visual representation of the Jared's current state. The violence caused by the community's divide was truly heartbreaking to see. All of this could have been avoided if both sides just agreed to live in peace. We need to look back at this event as a lesson to make sure we always work out our differences and uphold peace in the server. In the end, the Jared chain is a transcending multi-form chain. The next day, February 5th, the server was opened up to the public on my YouTube channel. The 700 people who were on the server at the time joined through either the invite I put up on Twitter or by word of mouth that spread through the various fan servers and communities. So only a very small portion of the community actually experienced these chaotic events firsthand. After the chaos and violence of the Jared event, the channel never went back to peace. Hashtag Don't Break the Chain was a violent storm of random chains constantly changing, but then a light peered through the bleak sky. On February 8th, this user sent the following messages. Let's continue the chain which started it all. Don't break the chain. At first, a small group of people worked together to keep this chain, but it was constantly being broken by others. But they did not give up. They had determination. For the rest of the day, despite all odds, they kept chaining. Eventually, the chain breakers gave up and this chain took over the text channel. Hashtag Don't Break the Chain was finally being united again. After many months of anarchy, we were finally working together again. All we needed to do was return to our roots and remember what was important, not breaking the chain. But still, this wasn't enough. We needed to go further and evolve the chain. We began to make many different images saying the phrase, "Don't break the chain." Sadly, some people felt differently and started posting break the chain images, so we had to go another step further. This person made a don't break the chain artwork for us to use instead. There were still doubters with outrageous claims, but we kept chaining. We were completely united. Over time, this chain died out, but of course, no chain lasts forever. The fact that this chain happened in the midst of the chaos was truly beautiful. Only for a few hours did this chain last, but those few hours would be remembered. After the almost universal destruction caused by the cow, the deletion of the original channel, and the entire original server being completely wiped off the face of the earth, we truly returned the spirit of the chains. On this day, the spirit of hashtag Don't Break the Chain was rebirthed. Hashtag Don't Break the Chain is a text channel on my Discord server about not breaking the chain. This text channel has a very long legacy with many different videos on my channel being made about the many different arcs it went through. Right now, we are on the third version of the text channel on the new Polynomial City Discord server. Over the history, so many different chains have been made, all resulting in different types of chains with varying lengths. But what is the longest chain to ever happen? That is a question we will be looking at today. Welcome to the history of hashtag Don't Break the Chain, the longest chain. As I said earlier, the hashtag Don't Break the Chain text channel has a very extensive history that has been fully documented on my channel. If you want to learn more about the history, please check out this playlist. This video will try not to spoil any of the previous episodes too much, so feel free to watch them another time. The unspoken rule of hashtag Don't Break the Chain is to copy and paste the previous message so you have a chain of multiple identical messages. There are many different types of chains that we have talked about before, such as text chains, image chains, etc. Today, chains are a lot more complicated than this. Chains evolve and change over time, chains go to war with each other, chains even dwell beyond the text channel itself. But which chain is the longest chain to ever happen? The first thing to look at is what definition of the longest chain will we use? The length of time the chain was being continued or the amount of total messages in the chain? For now, we will use the amount of time that the chain took place because counting the messages of such long chains is near impossible, especially when the old Don't Break the Chain text channels have been lost forever. Nowadays, there are many people using the text channel at once, all of them having different ideas of what chains they want to do, so big chains almost never form. Any chain that attempts to form is going to be constantly competing for relevancy in this absolute war zone of a text channel. One of the main ways to keep a chain relevant is to consistently evolve it. There are many ways that this can happen. Usually there are things called collage chains where people add new things to a base image over time. Sometimes communities of people get together to continue a chain so they can overwhelm the text channel and gain more people on their side. We saw something like this very recently with the Oreo chain. This chain had an entire community server made for it where people organized new forms of the chain and were determined to keep chaining it. This also happened back during the Jared arc. But still, no matter how big a chain gets, it is constantly being broken or the image is constantly changing. We still count that as a chain though. Even if a chain evolves into different versions of itself and even if it is constantly being broken in between messages, as long as the same thing is consistently being posted over and over again by different people, it still exists as a chain. This is where we lead to the two main categories of chains, normal chains and pure chains. A pure chain is a chain where the exact same message with no changes is posted over and over again with no breaks in between, completely by the free will of the users. free will being the key here. That means no bots or real rules that force people to keep it going. It has to be by the free will of the users. Every time a different message is posted in between, or if it evolves, it resets the streak of a pure chain. Pure chains are always extremely short and usually last only seconds. Pretty much every chain is made up of hundreds of streaks of pure chains. The other category is normal chains. A normal chain is just any chain that has breaks or changes. Pure chains are basically the building blocks of a normal chain. As an example, here you can see there's a pure chain that is broken. This section is a pure chain, and this section is a different pure chain. But overall, this is one normal chain. So pretty much anything can be a normal chain as long as it has people sending it consistently in a text channel. So long chains are easy to come by, but a long pure chain is almost impossible. This is because of the size of the server. Everyone in the text channel has a different idea of what they want to chain, and because of the free will of the channel, they can post whatever they want. This means that for a normal chain to survive, it just needs to keep evolving and changing to stay relevant. All the while, it is constantly being broken by random people who just don't really care. So what are some of the longest normal chains to ever happen? The first chain of notable length is the Chain Chomper. This chain was created in the very first Don't Break the Chain text channel back in September of 2020, and is pretty much the foundation of the entire story of this text channel. Way back in the very beginning of the text channel, barely anyone used it, so chains were much slower at coming and going, so the average pure chain was much longer. The Chain Chomper started out as a pretty long pure chain of this GIF, and on the second day it started to evolve, constantly changing with more and more effects added to the image. The chain started on the 12th of September and officially ended on the 17th, so this chain lasted for around 5 days straight. Fast forward to March of 2021, in hashtag Don't Break the Chain 3, another really long chain occurred. This was the chain of the Shattered Form investigation. I will not be going over the whole story of this chain as there is an entire video about that already because there is a lot to talk about with this thing. It started on the 2nd of March 2021. Each day of the following week, the image would evolve into the next layer, and in between those layers, the members made their own versions of the image, so there were a ton of different evolutions of this base image. This chain also had an extensive lore story behind it which helped keep it being chained for a while. So basically, this chain had so many different things keeping it relevant. It went on for 12 days straight until being officially ended on the 14th of March. Once again, going back to the original text channel, one of the most important chains in history took place. Following the success of the original Don't Break the Chain video, the text channel gained more and more users, but little did they know that a storm was brewing. On October 4th, the Dancing Cow was born. This chain instantly took over the text channel. Barely anyone even dared to break it, and soon after, it quickly began evolving into new forms. On October 25th, after 21 whole days straight of the cow's chaos, the chain was officially ended. Even though the Dancing Cow went on for an impressive 21 days straight, it was still consistently being broken and evolved many times. What would be really impressive is a long pure chain, but in reality there are no significantly long pure chains to ever happen in the text channel. So on October 13th, 2021, I decided to attempt to make a pure chain as an experiment. I sent this message in the text channel. Yo guys, can we form a pure chain out of this image? Don't edit it or anything and don't break it, just keep sending the image, I think that would be funny. Immediately, people began chaining the image with a few random breaks in between. It got up to a streak of only 11 messages in a row before chain breaks just kept happening. Even with such a simple request, for absolutely everyone to agree is just impossible. Some tried to keep it pure, some just wanted to be unique and post a funny edit, and some just wanted to chain something else. A pure chain simply isn't possible. So, are there just no significant pure chains? Is the Dancing Cow the longest chain to ever happen? I guess significant pure chains just don't exist. Or do they? What if I told you that there is a perfectly pure chain on the server that has lasted for an extremely long time that nobody even knows about? Let me explain. On our server, there are 4 different general chats that people know about. Hashtag General, hashtag General 2, hashtag Level 15 General, and hashtag Level 30 General. Level 15 General is accessible when you gain Level 15 on the server, and Level 30 General is accessible with Level 30. Potentially thousands of members have reached Level 15 on the server, and only around 100 people have reached Level 30. But now, let me introduce to you the location of this so-called chain, Level 100 General. The secret general chat that nobody has access to because not even a single person in the server thus far has legitimately reached Level 100. But how is there an ongoing chain in a text channel that nobody has access to? That's where the staff come in. Staff on the server have a natural permission to chat in any text channel. They also have permission to create text channels. One day, an anonymous moderator on the server created the secret text channel titled Level 100 General. The staff member Melody was the first person to send a message in the chat. On June 11th, 2021, they simply sent
a troll face. The perfect icon that displays the irony of this tech channel's existence. The pure irony of a channel that nobody has ever even dreamed of reaching, that the mods just have free access to. An immature display of power. The icon of the trollage. Completely unplanned, another mod sent another troll face. Then another mod joined in. The emotion displayed by this emote was all that was needed to communicate what had to be done. Not a single word was spoken about starting a chain. Everyone just had a mutual agreement to keep sending troll faces one after another. Thereafter, not a single time has this chain ever been broken, edited, or evolved. The staff team just kept sending troll faces. A week passed, then a month passed, 2 months passed, until now, around 5 months later, this pure chain is still ongoing to this day. As of me making this video, the chain currently has just about over 1,000 total messages. As I said earlier, not a single member on the server has ever reached level 100, and nobody even knows if this will ever happen. Hopefully, the fated first user to reach such a level continues the chain too. Until then, this chain will forever go on in secret, never to be broken. And there you have it. This secret troll face chain and level 100 general is the longest chain and the longest pure chain to ever exist on the server. Technically, this chain is in a tech channel that is extremely exclusive and done in secret, which pretty much discredits you from ever comparing it to anything in the actual Don't Break the Chain tech channels. A real chain should be available to everybody and should only be continued by the free will and natural agreement of the many different users. That's why this chain is only technically the longest chain. The longest real normal chain is the Dancing Cow, which went on for an impressive 21 days. The longest real pure chain is unknown because the significant one simply hasn't happened yet, and probably never will. For the entire tech channel of users to completely agree to chain the exact same thing for a long period of time is simply impossible. Maybe someday the users will get together and create a pure chain. Maybe someday someone will gain level 100 and help continue the Trollface chain. I'm Polygon Donut, and this has been the history of the longest chains. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, check out the other videos in this series if you haven't already, but most importantly, don't break the chain.